Hello, everybody. We are back on our second episode of TBR Solution Debt Review Made Easy. And this is an episode featuring a debt-free magazine. I'm having Zak King, who's the initiator of Debt-Free magazine. So we'll be talking about debt review. Remember that last week they were having what you called the awards, whereby they were awarding debt counselors who did well and also credit providers who did well. So yeah, let me welcome Zak. Zak, welcome to the show. And then I've just noticed that on your profile picture, you have your dad there on your picture. So I don't know whether this does it has some kind of a meaning. Or maybe you can tell us, maybe the old man had an impact on your life. So maybe if you can just elaborate, why do you have the old man on the picture of it's a question of Zak being proud of his old man. Let me remind you again that my name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe from TBR Solution. Zak, if you can answer that question. Thank you.
Well, I have spent, of course, my life watching how he dealt with finances. So your parents always influence you. One of the things my dad did that was very outstanding during my life was he had a business where he owed people money, of course, like all businesses do, but people, his clients, owed him money. And at one stage, his clients didn't pay. Some of them went bankrupt and were unable to pay. What I found very interesting at that time was how my dad showed a determination to pay back the people he owed money to. So he kept his business running and he made arrangements to pay those people back over several years until he was totally debt free. It was an outstanding thing.
Zach, last week it was a very big weekend for our industry. So I know that it was an event. So could you kindly elaborate how did the event go? And then if probably you can just articulate. Thank you.
The event went very well. We had a small audience in person at the venue, and then we were able to live stream from the venue across the internet through YouTube to various offices, credit providers, offices around the country, debt counselors' offices. We had a large number of people watching. We were very happy. It was a great success.
Could you kindly share with us the winners in different categories?
So we have highest rated in three different categories. The first has to do with the people who handle the money side of things, the payment distribution agents. Then you have the credit providers, and then finally the debt counselors. So in the very first categories, those amongst the payment distribution agents, the people who handle the money, there were two results. One as rated by debt counselors, and the highest rated there was DC Partner PDA, and then the other was the highest rated by credit providers, and there you had hyphen PDA take the top spot. Amongst the credit provider awards, one of the things we track is the most improved. So we had a result there coming once again this year for Absa Bank. That's been a trend over the last few years. Absa Bank been doing better and better and better. So well done to them. In terms of short-term finance, we had FinChoice, who are a division of Home Choice, who took the highest rating there. In the retail space, in the retail finance space, we had Consumer Friend. Now, Consumer Friend are an outsourced company who provide debt counseling services to a number of clients across the industry. They are very organized and have great technology in place that help them, and they took the top spot there. Moving on to the large non-bank credit providers, their Old Mutual held their top spot this year as they have in the past. Amongst the banks, and particularly vehicle finance, we had a change this year. Uh, Taking back their top spot from previous years was Westbank. When we looked at the banks, and particularly you have banks with unsecured products and banks with secured products like home loans. Firstly, amongst the unsecured products, African Bank took the highest ratings. And amongst those banks with secured products, we saw Absa Bank take an award this year. It was very exciting for them. Our new category this year amongst the credit providers was for the highest rated uh, credit provider debt review department. So that was an interesting new award, and it looked purely at how the department itself was doing. And that award went this year for the very first time to African Bank. The debt counselors are split up into 5 different size categories. That enables those who are doing ratings to compare companies with similar resources together into 5 categories. So in the smallest category, in the boutique category, the award went to Alwyn Jacobs from New Low Debt Counselors. Alwyn is new in the industry as well, so it was nice to see Alwyn take that top spot. Small debt counseling practices are those that maybe have perhaps 2 debt counselors or a larger number of clients. And here, Anthony McMinn from Second Chance Debt Counselors took the highest ratings. Anthony has often been in consideration for the top spot, so it was nice to see that award come through. In the medium debt counselor space, this is debt counselors who have a fair number of clients, maybe more than 1 or 2 debt counselors working together. Well, here, Gerard Stoltz of Gerard Stoltz Debt Counselors took the top spot, and there were many other fine candidates as well in that section. In the final 2 categories, these are now the large and the national debt counselors sections. This is those debt counselors who service thousands of clients at the same time. These are very big practices. It's a lot of competition, one would say, and they help a lot of people. Now, in the large debt counseling practice space, the award went to Debt Therapy, the previous winner from 2019. They again took the top spot, and they're always in the top 5, so it was nice to see them recognized in this way. And in the national debt counseling space, Debt Busters held on to their top ranking.
Now, for the winners to win, Zach, what could be the reason for them to win? If you can give us more information about that. Thank you.
Well, we have a number of very specific criteria that are considered in each of the PDA, credit provider, and debt counselor categories. So they have to be performing well across the board in regard to all those criteria. But in particular, it all comes back to how are we treating the consumer, how are we interacting with each other, and are we performing well? So if they met those criteria and received high ratings, they came out on top.
Zach, some of them they've won, some they've lost. What can you say to those who won, and what can you say to those who lost, as a word of encouragement? Thank you.
Well, I would say to all those who were recognized by their peers, well done. The whole point of the Debt Review Awards is to recognize excellence and hard work, so it's nice to know you're getting recognized. And to everybody else who was maybe in consideration but didn't receive one of the highest ratings, that doesn't mean that you're not doing hard work. It just means that there's perhaps room to imitate those who took the top spots this year. So let's continue to focus on the consumer. Let's continue to improve our services. And we look forward to seeing the results next year.
The industry has stakeholders, and probably that is why there was this event. It was to award the stakeholders who are in the industry. So now, what can you say to the stakeholders in preparation for next year?
Well, there's always room for improvement, as I mentioned. So we must look for ways that we can improve the debt review process, not just for ourselves and our own services, but particularly for consumers. So let's stay consumer focused. Let's make sure the debt review journey becomes easier and easier for those who enter the process and those who are in the process. And hopefully we can create an industry where millions of people can benefit each year.
Who are partners who made this event possible and also lead to the success of the event?
Well, we have many supporters and sponsors throughout the year. We have individuals who, of course, do the ratings. So thank you very much for your ratings throughout the year. The peer reviews are the fundamental part that make this process possible. But we also have those who help us cover financial concerns and considerations like hyphen PDA and those partners who partner with us. For instance, we have the One Significant Contribution Awards. We're very happy to partner with them. Slipstream for the Technology Award as well. It's a vital part of what we do. We also want to express a very big thank you to those supporters like ABSA, Capital Data, Consumer Friend, even the associations like DACASA and AllPro DC, or other banks like FNB and Nedbank. We have the PDAs as well, who play a fundamental part in communicating with the debt council. So we want to thank DC Partner and IPDA for the role they play, along with CollectNet, in talking to the debt councillors. And then the support we receive from others like MyLaw and MFC, the National Debt Councillors Association, Nimble and Old Mutual. We appreciate how you guys make it possible for us to present information, to track the information, and of course to hold the awards itself. So thank you very much, everyone.
Before I can, give you the opportunity to say your last words in this interview, I need to thank you very much, Zak, for agreeing to this arrangement. And I also want to make people aware of the fact that we'll have this kind of interview once a month instead of once a week for logistical reasons. So be aware of that. So Zak, I just want you to have the last words that you want to share pertaining to this event or interview.
Well, I encourage everyone, if you'd like to know more about the Debt Review Awards process, head over to www.debtreviewawards. There we have a comprehensive website with information about who the winners were, who the top 10 were, amongst the debt councillors, who the top 50 debt councillors are. There's also information about the awards event itself, so you can watch the video of what happened during this year's show, and of course find out more information about what's happening next year. Please do visit the website, and we look forward to having you online with us next year.